Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe, CMO of Gamefound, and thank you for joining me for the November 2023 Feast event. If you're not familiar with these events, they're events that we run several times a year in which we pick a variety of projects that we think are of particular interest to you, and today's event has 8 projects. 8 projects ranging from space to medieval to the depths of your imagination, and there are a lot of games here that I'm very excited about. Games that I've had the opportunity to play in many cases, and hopefully will get to play in other cases, but we'll have links to everything down below so you can go ahead and follow those projects, so you can stay up to date, so you can see what's coming. In some cases, so you can go ahead and get the follower gifts that they'll be giving for following those projects. We're going to get into all of those shortly, but before we do, please note that this is just the start of a variety of exciting announcements we'll have for you as we get into 2024. We have a lot of big things coming, and even right now, as I'm filming this, Nemesis Retaliation has just crossed the $4 million mark. It's on track to be the most funded Gamefound campaign of all time. It's possibly on track to be the most funded tabletop project of 2023 across all platforms. There's a lot of things to get into. We're excited about all of them, but let's focus on the Feast for right now. And with that, let's go ahead and start this off with our first Feast title. Our first title for today's Feast event is Last Light, designed by Roy Kennedy and published by Grey Fox Games. If you haven't heard of this game, it's a 2 to 4 player 4X game that its claim to fame, its pitch, is that it's a game that plays in 60 minutes or less, and from having played that many times myself at a variety of player counts, I can say that is generally a true statement. There's also an expansion that will bring it to 5 to 8 players, and this campaign is going to be bringing you a complete reprint along with some goodies for those who have had a hard time getting their hands in it, which makes sense. Right now, it's currently the #1 game on the BGG hotness list. It's a game that completely sold out at Gen Con. People have had a hard time getting their hands on the deluxe edition of the game, and today I'm going to be joined by Roy Kennedy to talk briefly about what you can expect from the campaign. Roy, thanks so much for joining us today. Tell us more about this campaign. Tell us about what you're bringing to the table with this reprint.
So we had a ton of success with Last Light, and we really wanted to be able to bring the deluxe version back to people. And we thought we'd bring it back to Gamefound, so super excited to be bringing it back because we've had so many people wanting to get the deluxe version back out on their table, just because people really want the deluxe-ified components and things like that for the game.
Gotcha. And is there anything new in the campaign, or just a reprint?
So we are going to have some new promo aliens that if you sign up for our launch boom, which we should have a link for in the description, we're trying doing this marketing thing to try to bring a lot more attention to the game and hopefully allow people to get their hands on some new aliens if they sign up for that, and to be able to get the deluxe version again.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I know that I've been following on social media as people have been talking about the game, and there's people trying to get their hands in it. I know it's doing incredibly well at Gen Con. Just recently I saw, oh my gosh, I saw at the BGG Con, it was was it the most checked out game? Was that what it was?
I was blown away that I didn't even get to go to BGG Con. So it was basically everybody was having a launch party for Last Light without me. But it was played 82 times, and there were 2 copies of it on the hot games area, so it's not even counting those plays. So it was played a ton, and it's currently actually #1 on the hotness on Board Game Geek. I don't know if it's going to be the time this video comes out, but I'm super excited because the buzz has been really cool. It's just been really cool to see something that I've been so passionate about and so excited about, and I felt like I've always been forcing it down everybody's throat. Not really, but trying to get people to play the game as much as possible. And now people are playing the game without me, without inviting me. It's kind of crazy.
You feel left out. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm very excited to see this one. I know on a personal note, I know I'm a huge fan of the game. I'm excited to see people enjoying it. All those tables, people taking selfies and 8 people diving into it. Something I think you started and popularized, and that's taking off without you as people share their love and enjoyment for it. But yeah, very good. Everyone following, everyone watching, make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign, and I'll include links down below to the launch boom as well, so you can go ahead and follow that to get those pre-launch promo cards. Roy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And that's Last Light. And with that, let's go ahead to our next title. Our next campaign is Starforged, sci-fi terrain brought to you from Dwarven Forge. It's been a long time since Dwarven Forge has gone into space, and this is the first time doing so with the proprietary Dwarvenite material for their various terrain. Dwarven Forge is known for being one of the best, if not the best, out there in terms of the deluxe terrain that they bring to your table, the pre-painted options, the modularity of it, and today I have Chris from Dwarven Forge to go a bit more into what Starforged is bringing to your table. Chris, thanks so much for joining us today. I've seen Dwarven Forge stuff, I've held Dwarven Forge stuff, it looks insane, but I am a bit ignorant when it comes to this whole world of terrain. Tell us more about the campaign, what you're doing here, your proprietary material, all of that stuff.
Well, for about a decade, we've been using this thing called Dwarvenite, which is a proprietary blend that lets us make something that is super durable, doesn't break if you drop it off the table, and also it's injection molded, so we can do things like put magnets in it, put LEDs in it, just kind of really make it like the nicest terrain possible. And we focus around modularity, this idea of not giving you a set piece that that is going to be that one thing, but to give you a set of toolbox of stuff that you can use over and over again to make a ton of different things. And what's particularly cool about the sci-fi set, which is this is our first time taking everything we've learned in this material and applying it to sci-fi, is that it's all 360 pieces. So the same pieces can basically be flipped over from being an interior build for Starfinder or for, I don't know, Space Hulk or something. You can flip it over to an exterior build to use for Warhammer or for Stargrave, or even just for an external encounter in Starfinder. We just come up with just a lot of like really clever uses of geometry. And I don't know, it's our first time jumping into sci-fi with all this stuff, and it feels like we're just taking everything we've learned and developed over the years and putting it into just our first step into sci-fi. It's really exciting.
That's awesome. It's very cool. I've seen the campaign page. I've seen how cool some of the stuff looks. To everyone listening or watching, make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign page. There is a free follower gift, so if you are in any way interested, go ahead and jump in. Just, you never know. But Chris, thanks so much for joining us here today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, it's worth noting that for many of these campaigns, including Starforged, Stretch Pay will be available as a payment option, allowing you to break up the cost of your pledge into installment payments. But with that, let's move to our next project. Our next campaign is Ice Unlimited from This Way Games. Ice is a game that's going to have 1 to 5 players digging deep underneath the ice to search for artifacts as they attempt to maximize their score using a completely unique board that has multiple layers of tiles as you literally dig tile by tile underneath to uncover the secrets that the snow has slowly covered up across the eons of civilization. Ice is coming back with a reprint as well as with an expansion and some more content, but with that I have Samson from This Way Games to talk about the game. Samson, thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a bit about some of the new things people can expect to see in this campaign?
Yeah, sure. There will be the expansion, the second expansion for Ice, and it's called the Relics. It's a brand new gameplay with also a new special guest artist for the illustration. We can't reveal it for now, but it would be like awesome. And there will be also the streamlining kit. It's an upgrade for the game, so that the original backers can play with all the new gameplay of the second edition.
Gotcha. And gameplay-wise, what does Relics bring to the table?
The Relics, it's really new. It's new tiles. They don't have the same size of the regular tiles of Ice, and you can match 3 tiles together to build some relics. And then as soon as you've got 2 of them, 2 of the 3 tiles, then you can apply the ability of the relics.
Perfect.
And
Beautiful.
you can exchange them with some players, and yeah, it replaces some of the tiles of the game.
Perfect. Well, I'm excited to see it. I'm a huge fan of Ice, excited to see the new content for it. Everyone,
Cool.
Please make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign. I'll have links down below, but there will be a follower bonus for following, so if you're in any way interested, now's a good time to check it out. Samson, thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.
Ice has overall been very well received since it's landed. I know I've particularly enjoyed it, partially because of just how unique it is compared to other games out there. But with that, let's head to our next campaign. Our next campaign is one I'm very intrigued by. It's also a reprint, but a reprint of a different sorts. This didn't land last year, it hasn't recently been on crowdfunding, rather this is Coliseum by Fantasia Games. Coliseum, originally published by Days of Wonder in 2007, went out of print and people are desperately trying to get their hands on it. TMG brought it back to crowdfunding in 2017 with a new version, and Fantasia Games is launching their own take on the edition with new art, new implementation, a bunch of things we'll get into shortly, but also a standalone title as well. It's going to be a reprint of Coliseum and a completely separate standalone title, but let's go ahead and talk to Thanos from Fantasia Games about what this campaign has to offer. Thanos, thanks for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going into this new reprint?
Hi, Alex. Thank you for having me here. Yes, we at Fantasia Games, we like to challenge ourselves. And the next challenge in our pipeline was to reprint a beloved game. And everyone was talking about the 2009 Days of Wonder edition, which is great. But our goal is to top this edition and make Fantasia Games edition the beloved one.
Now, in addition to the deluxifications, the quality, the components, art, all those things, are there any gameplay changes?
Yes and no, because we wanted to keep the old Coliseum, the original Coliseum, for the lovers of this game. So players will be able to play this edition like untouched, but we will add also some modules and some streamlined rules on top of that, so people can try out the original edition and the new edition, let's say.
And in addition to the original, you're also coming out with an entirely new standalone game as well, right?
Yeah. I mentioned before the challenge, and it would not be a proper challenge if we didn't make it even bigger, the challenge. So basically, yes, we're creating a new game, a new standalone game, because we always loved Coliseum, but we thought that in terms of 2023 or 24 gaming, in order to stand out, it needed to be a crunchy Euro.
Yeah, and in terms of the game design, like how similar is it to Coliseum? Was it an entirely different beast? What's this new one like?
Yeah, it will have the DNA of Coliseum, but it will be in terms of mechanics, it will be brought on 2024. It will not have these social aspects like trading and all this stuff. I can give you a little bit of spoilers. It will have a main Coliseum in the middle, a big one.
Okay.
So we will have, it will be a great mini there. And all of the, let's say, players will try to impress Titus. So they will organize events. So there is the Coliseum DNA right there. But without the social interaction, it will have beating and this kind of mechanics, but not trading and all this stuff.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thanks for joining us. To everyone, make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign. I'll have links to everything down below. Thank you, Thanos.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Coliseum's an interesting one. The game effectively has you trying to please the crowd across several rounds of play, and I've played the original game, so I'm intrigued and excited to see what Fantasia Games has done in terms of the adjustments or the variable play that they have for the base game, but I'm even more intrigued to see what the standalone title has to offer. I'm curious to see what they do to make it remain faithful or feeling like a Coliseum game, while also being very much its own entity. So I'm excited, combined with my personal appreciation for Fantasia Games, and I'm definitely excited to see what they have to bring to the table. Our next campaign is one that I sadly haven't had the pleasure of playing myself, but I've heard many good things about over the years. Feudum is a 2 to 5 player economic medieval game of resource and hand management that is known both for the intricate gameplay, the incredibly complex but rewarding decisions, as well as the unique look of the game. The art stands out a mile away. The game very much has its own look and feel in a crowded space. The game is coming to Gamefound for its 7th anniversary edition, and join me as I talk to Mark from Odd Bird Games about this campaign. Hey Mark, thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell us about the project, the campaign, what's new, anything going on with this?
Hi, Alex. Well, yeah, it's the 7th anniversary of Feudum, also known as the Septennial Edition. And all of its splendid limited edition goodness is lumbering your way. Like, for instance, there's a really cool clockwork behemoth that was specially designed for this edition.
And that's the brass miniature, right?
Yeah, it's a little metal replica of the clockwork behemoth that's, if you're familiar with the game, created by Lord Arthur himself. He's the alchemist in the game.
Gotcha. And anything else new going on in the campaign?
Yeah, there'll be some special art updates to the board. And I'm not going to reveal all of those, but you'll have to see when the time comes.
Perfect. And how many expansions do you guys have at this point?
This has several. It has about 4 different expansions, most recently Rudders and Ramparts.
Got it. And then as far as following the campaign, do you have a follower gift set up?
I do, yeah. The people that follow the campaign will get the Royal Steed coin.
Perfect. So I'll make sure to have a link down below to anyone to follow that if they want to go ahead and follow the campaign. But and why now? You're bringing Feudum back for a 7th anniversary. Is there any particular reason why now? What's driving this?
Yeah, mostly demand. The game has had 4 print runs, and I just can't keep making enough of them. So I decided to do another crowdfund and get people excited about the game all over again.
Perfect. And you'll be reprinting all the expansions, I assume?
Yes, there'll be different reward levels, and of course add-ons that people can add to their campaign.
Is there a big box option, or?
This will be the Centennial Edition. Will be the regular game, and then of course stretch goals will add a few things into the game, and then people can buy expansions separate to it.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Well, excellent. Everyone, I'll make sure to have a link to the campaign page so you can go ahead and follow that. And again, if you're in any way interested, worth checking it out. Mark, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I definitely recommend checking out that brass miniature if you have a chance. It's another unique component in a game that's already incredibly unique, and yet another reason to look at this one and see if it's a game that's right for you. But with that, let's go to our next campaign. Our next game is Fief England from Academy Games. Fief England is going to have you controlling one of several noble houses in this area control game as players vie to become the next Queen or King of England. Fief has had a bunch of editions across the years, going all the way back to 2011. It's had a variety of implementations, Fief France in 2015 being one of the more notable ones, and Academy Games is coming back to the series with Fief England, and join me as I talk to Academy Games about what we can expect from this campaign. Uwe, thanks for joining us today. So we have Fief England over here. You guys previously did Fief France in 2015. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about the games and the game system past a general overview. What's the game like? What are the differences? What's the campaign here today?
Well, we did Fief France, and now we're coming out with Fief England. Mr. Moff made France England, which is a game where everybody plays a different dynastic noble family in medieval England. And with that family, you're trying to gain power, trying to get male members of your family to become bishops, archbishops, to get votes and get royal titles, and you're female also, noblemen, noblewomen, to become a duke or duchess or count or countess. And getting these titles that give you the power to vote in parliament, that brings in taxation and all. So you're building a base, of course, and it's expanding your powers through votes, through ecclesiastic titles or royal, all the while making deals and dealing with other people, marrying other families. So if one of your male members marries a female member, you're now allied. You win or lose together no matter what. And the no matter what is, well, they might do some devious backstabbing and your spouse may die. So it's a wonderful game where you're then voting as you're getting fiefdom, the royal titles and ecclesiastic titles that give you voting rights to then tax even other players' domains, to vote in the king, and then that gives additional powers. You're trying to win the game either with 3 victory points as your family alone, or when you're married with another family, together you win with 4 victory points.
That's fascinating. It's
So
been
it's
8
a
years.
really
Okay.
now we made it. It used to be a 3 to 6 player game. This is the new Fief England is for 2 to 4 players. So we've sped it up a little, condensed it to England, and modernized a lot of the rules. Philippe has done an incredible job doing that. Then adding a lot of little, which we hope that the campaign unlocks here, that will unlock a lot of really cool, fun expansions like Robin Hood and Ivanhoe, or you can do the Crusades, or the sword, King Arthur. So people don't just want to do the historical; they can have a lot of fun with a lot of the really historical stories of England that you can put in there with it.
How does that partnership aspect play out in a 3-player game?
In a 3-player game, you can't marry other people, but then you have other lords that you can get on your side that are not players, but that you then have to decide, because everything's limited resources. It's how well your mill's producing. Do you have an abbey? Do you have certain retainers that give you certain advantages, which is also new to this game? And then maybe one lord needs bribery and needs quite a bit of money, but then you have that lord on your side that gives you that extra vote that could give you the vote to become king and eventually win the game. But then someone may backhand you and outbid your vote and have that lord go away. Or maybe you're helping the church and the ecclesiastic causes, and these lords from the ecclesiastic way come to your side. So it is you never have enough resources to do everything you want, but that's a very nice quick game where we usually play it around 90 minutes once you know how to play the game. And so it's going to be Fief England. And the first one did very well for us, and we're hoping with this new modern version, with the gameplay and all that, and being able to play even with 2 players is going to be a good draw for our fan base and new fans of the game.
Beautiful. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us today, Uwe. Everyone, make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign, because there will be an early bird. So if you want to get the best possible option, there'll be a coin set available. So make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign.
Yeah, and this is $35, which if you don't do the early bird, it's $35. Maybe we'll drop it down to $30. MSRP is $35. But these are actual historical recreated coins from the 1100s to 1300s. I mean, we did a lot of research, a lot of work, and there are quite a few heavy, nice metal coins.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining us today, Uwe. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
And that's Fief England. Definitely worth a follow, in particular because I can't say everything, but there are some things coming in this campaign that may make you interested in it, even if you weren't already. But with that, let's head to our next project. Robot Quest Arena Bot Battle from Wise Wizard Games is our next Feast title. This 2 to 4 player deck building skirmish game featuring pre-painted robots all trying to slowly upgrade themselves as they gather better weapons, better cards, move faster across the board, utilize various technologies, all as they try to gather as many points as possible and being the winner. And 2 to 4 players before expansions, I should note. This game has been overall well received since it landed, and they're coming back to Gamefound with a reprint as well as more content. Join me as I talk to Rob from Wise Wizard Games about what this campaign has to offer. Rob, thanks so much for joining us today. Very excited to have you guys on board for the campaign. Can you tell us the new things going on with this campaign?
Yeah, thanks for having us. So we've got a lot going on. Robot Quest Arena, incredibly popular. People love the bots. We've got these awesome giant pre-painted minis in the game, and we with this campaign we're bringing 4 new robots in. Each robot comes in a pack where you've got your robot and you've got extra cards and tiles. So we're going to have 4 new sets of cards, 1 for each robot. Each robot will come with new tiles for the arena, and then the 4 robots each having their own ability, and of course the beautiful robot mini. And we're going to have a giant game board. So this will bring the total number of robots available to Robot Quest Arena players up to 11. And so while you can get 7 players on the current board, and it's a ton of fun having lots of people, the more bots, the merrier, because more robot mayhem. So we've got a giant playmat that we're making for this thing. So you'll be able to do games with up to 11 players if you want to do the big giant chaos battle. And that is a ton of fun. And of course, we'll have exclusive promo cards and tiles in addition as we unlock stretch goals throughout the campaign. So
now, speaking of the 11 players, can players get their hands on everything from the past campaign?
Yeah, so basically, not only so you'll be able to get the stuff. The Robot Quest Arena is available in stores, so you could get it ahead of time. But you could also get the base game and the expansions that are available in stores through the campaign. You'll also be able to get the ones that were on the original Kickstarter campaign, the exclusive robot and the exclusive promo cards and tiles from the original campaign. Those will be available, plus new original content. Exclusive content as well. So there is basically everything Robot Quest Arena will be available.
Beautiful. And is there any reward for following the campaign?
Absolutely. So you can go right now and follow the campaign, and when you actually back, you're going to be getting an extra promo card. So we've got a hologram promo card, which is really cool defensive card with basically infinite defense. It represents basically you put up a hologram and they blast that with a big attack. So any damage will take it down, but it can absorb any amount of damage from an attack. So super cool promo card that you can get by signing up right now.
Excellent. I'll have links to everything down below, all the campaigns. Thanks so much, Rob. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't tell you whether you'll like the game, but I can tell you that these pre-painted miniatures are incredibly well done. Although speaking of miniatures, let's head to our next and final Feast campaign. Our last campaign for the Feast is one that I'm particularly excited about. On a personal note, this is my favorite game of the games we're talking about today, and that's already picking from a roster of some amazing titles. But this is going to be Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia from CMON Games. Masters of the Universe is coming back to crowdfunding on Gamefound, and this time it's available with complete worldwide shipping. The last time, if you followed the campaign, it was limited to which regions it could ship to, but this time anyone, anywhere can get your hands on it. Whether you are someone who wanted it but wasn't in one of the regions it was shipping to, or whether you were someone who just wasn't convinced that it was a good enough game, and now with all the reviews out there, with all the coverage on the game, you can walk into it significantly more informed about whether this game is right for you or not. Join me as I talk to Guile, Director of Design and Development from CMON Games, about this campaign. Guile, thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell us what to expect from this campaign? What should people be excited about? What's going on? What's new? All of that stuff.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to talk to you again one more time. This is basically we're bringing Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia, our power system game, to a new campaign on Gamefound, this time for a wider audience. Of course, we're delighted with the opportunity to bring this game that was well-loved, and there was a lot of just craft and love and passion put into it. So we're very excited to be able to bring it back. And, maybe with one thing or two to add.
One or two new things?
Literally two. In this case, we're bringing two new characters. They were not part of the original campaign. Of course, back in the time, back when the campaign was live, there was a lot of fan requests and a lot of things people wanted to see. And we did as much as we could back then. But now that we're bringing the game back, we're able to add two new characters. One heroic warrior and one evil warrior.
So I guess I have two questions on that. The first one is, what two characters and or even what prompted, why now? What happened there? How did that work out?
All right. So the first one, maybe I should save the first question for the latter. So what changed is that, of course, we were just meeting with Mattel in order to see what we could bring to the table with the new campaign. One of them, of course, is the expanded territory. So we're able to bring to a worldwide campaign this time. And we were, of course, trying to seek opportunities to, fill out some of the roster we wanted to. And we went, top of the list was exactly the two that we managed to get. So we're bringing Jitsu, the evil warrior, and Cyclone, the heroic warrior, to the addition to the campaign.
Very nice. And then this one, in terms of previous backers, do previous backers have to back the entire campaign, or is there a way to get those for previous backers?
So there will be a way. If you already have the first campaign, the content for the first campaign, there will be a pledge level just for these two new characters.
Beautiful. Excellent.
And if you're a first time here, if you're here for the first time, everything that was available before, plus these two new characters will be there.
Perfect. Well, everyone, make sure to go ahead and follow the campaign. We'll have links to everything down below. And Guile, thanks so much for joining us again. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you all back in the campaign.
So there you have it, mostly a reprint with a few new things coming your way, but Master the Universe is a fantastic experience. This is a 1 to 5 player game that can be played solo, cooperatively, competitively, as you vie over a variety of scenarios trying to take sides in the skirmish games or playing against the AI as you take control of tons of characters, absolutely tons of characters with tons of powers with a whole bunch of scenarios to go through as you try to tactically outwit your opponents in this game. It is a phenomenal experience. I highly recommend checking this one out or checking out additional coverage to see whether this is a game that appeals to you or not. But that's going to be Master of the Universe Clash of Eternia from CMON Games as our last title in the Feast campaign. And that's a wrap for the November 2023 Gamefound Feast event. 8 fantastic projects. We'll have links to everything down below so you can go ahead and follow, whether it's because of a follower gift or just so you can stay up to date as more updates are released, as the project launches, to see if it's something that's right for you. Thank you for joining me along this video, for sticking through this all the way to the end. And again, in 2024, we'll have a lot of things coming to the platform. Gamefound has been on an exciting journey for the past several years, and we are continuing to grow, continuing to add more and new exciting projects, more creators, more campaigns, more things that we think you are interested in. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Alex Radcliffe, CMO of Gamefound. I appreciate you being here, and as always, I hope you have a good one.